Good morning again, guys. It's me, V. I'm back to share with you what I had created for Easter and what I am still creating. I know it's going to be June, or it's June. Um, and so, with that said, before I share the book, let me explain the book. Several ladies have, through the years, have made candy box journals. And last year, I gave my hand at the Halloween candy boxes from the Dollar Tree, and I was inspired by my creative crafticality. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name, but I do have her video. And this was probably about 10 years ago. She also used the candy boxes and made small little journals. And so at Easter time, Creative Crafticality had used Easter boxes from the Dollar Tree, and I thought, maybe I'll try one of them. And so I do have several different boxes. I have the Stover ones, I have the large and the medium, the peat boxes, but they had these. And it had a chocolate rabbit inside. And so I went and bought 12 boxes. What was wrong? We're still eating chocolate. And so it was really cute. It was called Carrot Patch Pete. And so then I went back, and I'm going to show you this box real quick. So this is why it's taking me so long to create these boxes. I'm having to make a total of 9. I have, well, I should say 8. I have 8 grandchildren. And so I decided to just make the Carrot Patch Peach ones for the boys. Now the boys, their colors of their box, of their book inside is more guy colors, I guess you could say. It does have some little pastel colors, And there is the side of the box. And again, there is the top of the box. And then this is what I am using to make the front shaker. So the boys are getting the Carrot Patch Pete. Now, when you see mine, because it's Carrot Patch, I use tons of carrots, and it's going to be the same way for the boys. Now, the boys, this is what's taking me so long. I have been die cutting and collecting things, different ones for the boys and different ones for the girls, and some of the same. And so these are going to be the boys. And I will come back as soon. I'm just about done. And then I will show you what I created for the girls. Now, for the girls, I found these boxes later on after the Carrot Patch. And so I bought, I think it was 4 purple and 3 green, because I want to make one for myself. But for the girls, I am focusing, instead of all carrots, I'm focusing more on carrots, eggs, and daisies. I got the cutest trim from my friend of daisies. And so if the box is purple, their inside will be green. If it's green, it'll be purple. And let me move this out of the way very quickly. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit that again. So the papers are all the same. The only thing that's different is the paper that's going to be under the little piece. And this, again, was a chocolate rabbit. It's not quite the same as the Carrot Peach, where it looks more like a rabbit back there, but it's just fine. And so for the girls, oh, this is the side of the box, and I'm putting trim on all of them behind there. And then their papers are more girly, if that makes sense. And so let me put that back. Oops. I have been cutting so many die cuts, it's not funny. And I know I'm going to have to grab this real quick. The other candy box I used, I'm using various stamps. So like the boys, they're going to have more carrot stamp version. And the girls will have more of a cuter version, I guess you could say. These are candy boxes that had jelly beans in them. And so what I did was this, it took me forever. This is actually not a jelly bean. It's a coffee bean die, but I cut tons of these to make jelly beans. And so they do move. And so I had to cut a whole bunch to make. On top of that, I made some for my sister. So it has taken me, I'm sorry for the noise, a bit to make. I had to, and like I said, the girls has a little bit different stuff. I'm doing a lot of daisies for the girls. I had to cut all of these and then start putting them all. I still need to finish putting them together. And I'm almost there. I really am. I'm almost there. For the boys, my husband thought I'd lost my mind. He doesn't know about the carrot bag, seed packets. He just saw these ones. He's like, oh, you're going to plant flowers? I said, no, they're for the kids' books. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm going to put these in the kids' book. He said, with the seeds in it? I said, yeah. He said, oh. I said, well, I'll take the seeds out. So I cut all the seeds out of the little daisy because I wanted daisies in theirs to go with their book. And the boys have carrot seeds. Now, let me cover that and share with you what I created. So all of them will have some kind, like the boys are going to have this carrot. The girls are going to have one of them carrots on the side of their book. Because, oh, don't go nowhere. Oh, I'm so sorry. I knew I was going to do that. They're not going to have like a big old dangle. They're just going to have a carrot. Even the girls are just going to have a carrot. So here's the one I created. I did 3 signatures and I used this dollar store trim. And I didn't find the other trim until later on, but I had already bound this or put the thing, and it kept coming out because it was too thin. But again, there's 3 signatures on the back of the book. This is a gift bag, and I just put some rickrack. I left a little thing up there. This is a Diana Markham stamp, and she does have one that has the actual carrot recipe on there, but I only have that one. And so all I did was where the sun was supposed to be, I added a little flower. It is a shaker, so everything does move in there. I added little carrots. Inside, I did one of my V's corner pocket flip. And I do have a tutorial on my channel if you want to see it. And so, let me move this. And the reason I call it a V's corner pocket flip, I like to think of it as the letter V. And so, the way that you fold the paper, and it does have a little magnet in there, but I should have used a stronger magnet. If I take out all the items inside, it does close. But I just put a sticker there. Inside of here, there's a carrot. Inside of this one, there is some little rabbits. Inside of this one is a little tag. And then this one, you can put writing or photo or whatever. So inside here, I just used a piece of Project Life paper. And it says, I care a lot. I care a lot about you. There we go. And I tried to stick with stamps that had to do with carrots on it. So as that one's a different little stamp. I found these paint swatches. And if you see, I'm so sorry for the shadow. It says carrot cake. And so I stamped right there and I put that on the back. This was a piece of paper I found at my local Crazy Goodwill, the Goodwill outlet stores where they do the bins. And I just used several little pieces of that. Here's paper, pattern paper. Here is the top of the box. I just put it on some trim, and then I cut a carrot, and you can write on it, and then I just put a little stopper right there. Oops. This is just a little envelope. There's a little piece of that paper. On this side, there is the a little felt thing that went on something. There's where I put the carrots. Later on, I did find this at the Dollar Tree. I wish I would have used that on there, but it's too late now. And so then I just stuck a little sticker and some glitter inside. This is another gift bag. And I think I got these gift bags at the Dollar Tree. And then I just stuck this on there. A little tag. It kind of smudged right there. And then this is another pocket. And all I did was cut out some carrots and I ran them through my perforator. So that they're a different carrot. And then I just stamped Happy Easter right there, paper. This, I went to my local stamp store. Oh my goodness. I can't think of the stamp store. It's here in the Springs. Anyway, I went in there and I said, Kathy, I need Easter paper. And so everything that she had, Simple Pleasures is what it's called. Everything she had to do with carrots, I brought home. And yes, I noticed I put that upside down. And so there's more of that trim. I just stamped a carrot, a little egg. This is some vintage wrapping paper. I did try to add, I tried to write in here after I put a bunch of stuff. I've learned that I'm still going to write in it after the stuff. But I found that if I do a board behind it, my handwriting's better. But what do rabbits say before they eat? Let us pray. And so here is Carrot Pete going to market to sell his little carrots. I just used a little die of a car and a die of a rabbit. Over here, that is the gift bag, and that's dollar store trim, which I really wish they would bring back. I just made a little tag. And this is more of that different trim. And it said Carrot Patch, and from the dollar store. I wish I would have had that. I put a bow. These are some, what do you call them? Notepads. And another carrot. Over here is the center of the book signature. And because it had little rabbits, I cut little rabbits. I used orange crochet thread to bind it. And then I just used a little tuck spot. Because I decided to do the girls' books with the daisies, I had to go back and get more of that paper. And I think I got that from Hobby Lobby. And as you can see, I just added some little sequins in there. Come back here. Where are you going? And then for the boys' book, Carrot Patch Pete, I used this die. And it's the same die as the other one. Only one of them you can make like regular. And this one I think you can make into a shaker. But what I did, I only have one stamp of a rabbit face. And so I put that in where the boys were. And then I added stickles. A couple of carrots behind it. What did the Easter Rabbit... Why did the Easter Rabbit open a garden? To grow more carrot customers. And then I just added that there. Paper, there's more of the paper. These are parts of the stationery that I did not use. There's more of that. More paper. Lots of writing space. Washi tape, stickers. That bag, gift bag. And then here, this was to be done today. It's some little thing I had. And what I did was I made a list of things that Carrot Pete had to do. He has to pick his carrots. He has to replant more carrots. He has to go to the market and sell the carrots he picked. He has to buy more carrot seeds. And then the missus will make carrot cake. for dinner. And then I added the trim. More of the paper, I added a sticker. I just made a border of carrots. The paper. This is like typewriting paper. And I just stamped a bunch of carrots all over it. This is like, oops, that's not supposed to be there. This is like cake liner paper. And then, oh, that's why. That's where you went. Oh, because I tried to do this video and it just kept messing up. And it was frustrating me. And I lost my paper clip. Oh, there it is. That's what that was too. So anyway, this is a little envelope. And did I stick? No, I stuck it down realizing I wanted to make it into a band. So this, here's the edge of the box. And I just put some old vintage trim behind it. And so this slides in here. But inside of there, I have these little papers that I stamped. And I just added some, let me put this back, carrot die pieces on the top of it. So that just goes in there. And then it goes folded over. And then this is just a notepad paper. And that goes there. And then this is just another part of that paper that I cut apart. And it goes behind there. Oops, I hit that again, didn't I? And then there's that. This is just a foam little piece. And I made it, glued it on there. This is more of that paper from that place. And then this is more of that. And it goes behind the library card. And I forgot to show you this. Let me move this just very quickly. And I just put the library card right there. That goes behind it. And then on the inside, let me just show you this as soon as I... Okay. So then, inside the library card... This thing keeps moving. I'm sorry. I added another one of the little notepad pieces, a carrot. And this one, I cut the shape of an egg. Then I cut a carrot. And then when you open it, he turns. More paper. And then what I did with the rickrack was I put it on there. And then I intertwined the green with the yellow so that you could see it both ways. And then there is a carrot, a little stamp over here. I have to pull this out. I found these, a little pile of these at my Crazy Goodwill. And it just, I thought it was cute because it said eggs extravaganza. And so I just tucked that in there. And of course, when Carrot Pete goes to market, he has a budget keeper. And then I use some of the dollar store trim. And he can't go to market without his bunny money. I found just that $1 right there at my local Crazy Goodwill. The bins or whatever you want to call them. I do have, let me see if I can grab this. I do have these stickers where you get $2 bills and you stick these on the front. Them are going to be what I put inside of my grandbabies books. And so they'll have that. There's that daisy paper, a sticker. This is more vintage wrapping paper, a sticker. Inside of here, I just used more of the paper. I used a little multiplication card. This one goes there. And then I found these at the Goodwill. And so this is the center. And because there are eggs right there, I just put eggs inside. On this side, I made a pocket and then washi tape. Now, you know, remember a while back then where when you dyed your eggs, you would put this on your egg after you dyed it, and then you would put it back in the hot water and it would melt this plastic. Well, my sister had made a tag using that. She goes, look, So I said, oh, I'm going to scrap lift your idea. So washi tape, that's the thing there. And even on the back side, I left it to where it would make a pocket. That's where I cut some of that trim. And so this is another notepad and another carrot. And it just goes tucked in there. Washi tape, the old paper. Now, for me, Easter is an Easter without Christ. And so I put like you were, this is up on the altar and like you're looking out the big window. And of course they have the cross and he's not there because he is risen. And so each one, I have them in all the books. I've had to cut like 9 of everything. And so this is another tag die, only I did not glue it together. I left it open so that it could slide. A sticker, you could still write, put a photo, and then it lifts up and you can put something on it. Now, I did use a little stamp. Here I used, while you were out notepad. What did the rabbit say to the carrot? It's been nice knowing you. You know, like he's gnawing on the carrot. And then that just goes back there. Oops, no, I got to get it all the way back. There we go. And then I just stuck that back on there. On this side, there's another piece of the notepad paper, some washi, and another carrot. Lots of carrots. This is just some notepad. I had some in yellow and some in pink. And I just alternated pieces and I stamped up there with some rabbit. Over here, another piece of the notepad, another carrot, the gift bag paper. This is another piece of paper from the stamp store. Oh, I forgot to erase that. So that's where I was going to do the twirling rabbit, and I didn't. And then I made a makeshift little hidden paper clip and stuck it on there. There's more of that. This is just some of the old trim. And it's like a garland. So I just cut a piece of it off and put it in there. A sticker. Then there's the back of that printer paper. Here is another one of the library pockets. I just stuck that behind there. And then another notepad rabbit. And then stamping your Some Bunny special. Yeah. And then more of that. I only had a few of these, so he's got a carrot, and then there's some of that trim. This is a note place thing from Hobby Lobby, and it had a carrot on it. The girls' will have something different. And then another piece of the note paper. Stickers, paper. Here is where I added the candy box jelly bean. And what kind of bean can't grow in a garden? A jelly bean. And then I just put jelly bean stickers and then another carrot. And then there is where I made their little jelly bean shaker box. And then a stamp of planted carrots, a sticker. This is just a glassine bag that I decoupaged a napkin to. A note card with some stamped of... oh, there's something you can put behind it or in front of it. I just... Another card. I put a sticker, a carrot, another carrot. For this one, this is a notepad that had the carrots and a rabbit on it. And what I did was I made a recipe for the carrot cake. Now, it is a real recipe and it's delicious. But it's for high altitude directions. And then underneath, I'm telling you, the icing is what makes this cake the best. So there is the icing recipe. There's a rabbit, sticker, vintage wrapping paper, a little blue doily stickers. Sadly, I only had one of these, so it went in my book. And it's the missus with the carrot, a sticker, And then for this one, because they got some planted carrots up there, I just added carrots in the middle of this signature. I added a guest check. It does lift up. How do you make gold soup? It's supposed to say, how does a rabbit? But my friend told me the joke and I didn't write it down. So when I come back, I was like, I think that's what she said. She goes, no, how do rabbits make gold soup? They put 24 carats in it. So a stamp, stickers, more of the paper. Then there's another carrot behind the egg. Because that ribbon had carrot patch on it, I put it on there. And then I put some flowers there. Here's another carrot, but this one opens up. Oh, I better hurry. Another carrot, and of course the daffodils. Another carrot. Now my sister had come up with this idea to make a belly band of the carrots. Well, I added rabbits in between. So I had to cut out rabbits and send her rabbits. And so here is another one of the paint chip cards. And this one's cottontail. And I put paper behind it. And then I use my whale tail. I cut a rabbit. And that's a different punch. And I put that there. And what kind of jewelry do rabbits wear? 14 karat gold. Okay, and then more paper and stuff. I put another die there, washi tape, and Easter lilies with a cross. And then this gave me some trouble. I'm not putting one of these in the kids' because the book is so small and you got to cut this CD holder down. It was a pain in the backside. And I haven't decided what I'm putting right there. I just put some stickers. Now this does open and you can get the little notepad paper out of there and the blue piece, but for now I'm leaving it. And then I just put them die cuts right there. And then this here, do you remember when you colored eggs, they had these little strips in there and you would interlock them and it would make a circle. So after a holder, you would die cut or color your eggs. You would put that in there and then it would hold your eggs. So I cut the sides off and put it there. And then this is just a die of Carrot Patch Pete and he's holding his carrots. Now the girls is still going to look something like this, but I'm hoping to make it a little bit more girlish. And I did do another rabbit and I had it. Let me see if I got one right here. Did I put it in here? Yes, I did. So like the girls, I made some little rabbits. And the boys their ears will be different, which I'm almost done putting that together. And then I need to finish the eyes, the nose, and everything for that. I'm telling you, I've had to do different things for each one of them. And when you're creating 8 books, plus I want to do one of the little purple books with the daisies. It's a lot. Oh, wait, where did I go? Oh, I did get to the end. And then, of course, the back. This little box is just determined to move. And so there is my Carrot Patch Pete. Carrot Patch Pete. That's a little tongue twister. And so when I finish with the other books, which I'm almost there, I think I just need to start assembling a bunch of the dies and then sew in my signatures. But before I do that, I want to do the stamping in the books and then write the jokes where I need to, and their books will be done. And I'm still going to come back and share a video of what the boys look like and what the girls look like. Not all of them, but one of each. So everybody have a blessed day, and we'll talk with y'all later. Bye.